So second on our list of concepts to cover today is finding the length of an arc of a circle. So initially when we were talking about the measure of an angle, the radian measure of an angle, we were talking about that in terms of the unit circle, which with radius 1, the radian measure of an angle is equal to the length of the subtended arc, subtend to be opposite to, so the arc opposite the angle. And so the radian measure of the angle in more general terms, though, is the ratio of the length of the subtended arc, which would be S, to the radius r of the circle. So this is an important formula. Again, the radian measure of an angle, it's got to be a radian measure here, is equal to the ratio of the subtended arc to the radius of the circle, which brings us down to the arc length formula. So if you multiply both sides by r up here, we get the arc length formula. So this is an important formula that you'll need to memorize. And let's go ahead and use that right here. Find the length of this example doesn't have a number. Find the length of the arc of a circle of radius 4 meters. So we have 4. Subtended by a central angle of 0.5 radians. And so 0.5 radians, now that we know that 1 radian is about up here, 0.5 radians would be down like that. So let's add that in here. So this angle measure equals 0.5, and we know that r equals 4. So let's just write out the formula. S equals r theta, and again we want the length of the arc, and we know that the radius is 4, and the radian measure of the angle. So this is really important. You can't plug in degrees here. You've got to plug in radians. It's the radian measure of the angle. So 0.5 and 4 times 1/2 is 2, and that's just it. 2. 2 is the answer. 2 what? 2 radians? Well, you wouldn't say 2 radians. You would just say 2. Oh, this is meters, so 4 meters, so it would be 2 meters. You wouldn't say 2 radians. 2 radians. Radians is only in terms of angles. So if you wouldn't measure a length in terms of radians, so keep that in mind as well. I'm going to go ahead and now let's go for it. I've got some more time on this video. So converting from degrees to radians, and from radians to degrees. So one of the things we know, and let's do that in this box here, we know that 360 degrees is equal to 2 times pi, so 2 pi. So if we want to know how to convert degrees to radians, let's go ahead and figure out what 1 degree is. So we're going to divide both sides by 360 degrees, and when we do that, we see that 1 degree is equal to pi over 180. Okay, pi over 180 degrees. I'm going to put it like that. So in the next video, we'll use these formulas. And I was thinking we might have some examples right here, but we don't. So yeah, well there we go. 1 degree equals pi over 180 degrees radians. And if we want to convert the radians to degrees, we use our formula here, and we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by 2 pi. That's my dog. I'm doing these videos at home. So 2 pi radians. So we have 1 radian. That was radians there. So we have 1 radian equals 360 over 2 pi. The 2 goes into 360 180 times. So we have 180 degrees over pi. So 1 radian equals 180 over pi. And that's exactly what it says here. So I'm going to stop the video, and we'll pick up the last page in the next one.